That seems more like a you problem.
Hello, family friends. You manage this every time. Every time I switch over to the view of us, someone's giving me shit. I'm starting to think maybe I'm the problem.
God, bitch, why are you such a problem player?
Because I'm the DM, it's my job to be. But hello, family, friends, fans, and fellow adventurers. Welcome back to Sands of Syldaris, the second flagship campaign from Practical Heroes, with, of course, your favourite people all around me. Although you can't really see my arms much, which upsets me, but then we can't fit everyone on the screen. I talk a lot with my hands, and all you see on the stream is just little flashes of fingertips. But that's by the by, because last time, see how smooth that was? What a transition. Last time, we caught back up with our group of adventurers as they continued the fight at this goblin outpost nearby Ebonwood. As you did, a strange being descended from the heavens and began to give the goblins fire magic. And it was just a real great time for everyone, until I believe Chester and Linger got just a smidge fed up with the fighting and began to try and talk her down after Linger called across the battlefield to just kind of be like, so, the magic you're giving them is kind of messy. This whole thing's kind of messy. Can we just stop for a second? And the High Priestess, as you found out she was called, decided, sure. And that's when Linger was like, oh, I didn't think I'd get this far, you do the talking. And out came Chester to do his bardy things.
That's teamwork, is what that is.
Exactly. As a great man once said, that's fucking teamwork.
Who said that?
Jack Black.
Okay.
In the Tenacious D song, Double Team.
I don't remember any.
Anyway,
Nothing stays in my brain.
in fact, it might not even be Double Team. It might be Fuck Her Gently. Anyway,
I guess we have to look it up.
with that, you managed to make a deal with the High Priestess where it's her understanding that you guys will be leaving the Sun God and his followers alone and not interfering with their plans in exchange for the Goblin Menace being removed from Ebonwood. It's your understanding that you intend to do absolutely none of that.
Yes. I think we've assessed the situation differently through
Fortunately, we branched off the brief viewing of the divergent alternate timeline where Mura accidentally blurted out the entire plan after Linger said, hey guys, shut up and don't blurt out the plan.
I would never do that.
Unfortunately.
I think it was Steph who blurted out the plan.
Yeah, I do. I have to say, I really do think that was me and not
Sometimes Mura just takes over.
God, that's so true.
But with that, you returned back to Ebonwood. You spoke with the captain, and you were rewarded. Before being informed that should you wish to be similarly rewarded with money and items and other things depending on how good stuff goes, There have been reports recently near the capital of the Sleeping Gardens, Dura, and Bimbleduke, the gnomish settlement, of strange automaton attacks originating from an airship which is believed to have come from the Sleeping Gardens. And with that, you decided you would head off either to Dura on the way or direct to Bimbleduke, and that was where we had left off. So, as I believe you're still in the tavern, as the next morning rolls around, what would you guys like to do? It's like
Wake up,
violently
put on a little
hiccup.
bit of makeup.
I drank a
I
lot
wanted to.
yesterday, and I'm not feeling incredible. However, I'm willing to proceed with the mission at hand. I will say, silver lining, as I am wont to do, something about that booze and the sleep and the food has unlocked various things in my mind, and I feel much more powerful than I did yesterday.
Well, very brave.
Thank you, thank you. And then he's going to do a little prestidigitation. I like to thank you, I believe, Linga. I've been watching you use the spell on and off, and now I have learned it myself somehow. I don't really know how, but still.
Somehow.
Somehow. I'm happy to have been a source of inspiration. You've certainly been one for a rep. If you ever do want help, I'm happy to offer some tutelage.
Well, I may take you up on that. He's not going to multi-class. Further, that is. Bard all the way now.
Yeah. But if there's any bard spells that wizards do, we can pretend.
There's a lot.
Yeah, there
A lot
are.
of crossover.
Yeah, on the arcane ones. A lot
Weird.
of spiders in my room. I think I can do something with that. No, I'm kidding.
I thought you meant
Oh, there probably are. I am in a basement.
and you're in the south, which I feel like is just home to the spiders. All the spiders.
Speaking of being in the south and bugs, pretty sure my back porch is riddled with termites, so that's gonna be fun.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
It's not a
That's-
group
Oh,
of them, right?
yeah.
No, that's a.
Okay.
My boys are gonna learn to do carpentry, is what that means.
I like how Lindsay's like, there are termites, but don't worry, we're just gonna tear it down and learn how to build it again.
Yep. Gonna burn it and build it. That's how we do. I
am,
assume burning is the best way to get rid of them.
making
I
a
don't
note
know.
of all of these things you're saying, and they will be used for ship crew and ship captains in my current Spelljammer campaign I'm running.
Termites?
good.
There are
Termites.
space termites all over this ship. We're just gonna build a new one.
Gotta use a southern accent.
I mean, we will tear down the porch and move it to the burn pile.
Before we burn it.
Move it to
burning
the
pile.
burn pile.
You laugh,
You don't think
but
we
that's
have a
the
burn
thing.
Yeah, the burn
pile.
pile.
We have a
okay.
burn
No,
pile.
Yeah,
you
no.
have to have a burn pile. Otherwise, it's just, well, we'll just set fire to the porch. Oh, the house is on fire.
I mean, you can control that.
Burn leaves, wood,
Yeah, you gotta have
miscellaneous
burn pile.
items,
Yeah, you gotta have burn pile.
recycling,
English
torches.
and the
Evil-
Canadian
oh,
just
okay.
listening to this. Oh, yeah, burn pile, huh? Uh-huh.
Y'all don't have burn piles?
I don't know how you live without
Maybe in
burn pile.
Northern Ontario, I wouldn't be surprised. Northern Ontario is like the American South. And I mean
Okay.
that with great respect to both.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Northern Ontario, do you have burn piles?
Yes, let us know,
Dude,
Northern
Let us know in chat. Do you have burn pile?
Did y'all have burn piles?
In case anyone's
Christ.
interested, in Ebonwood, they absolutely do have burn piles.
Good. My people's heritage needs to live on in burn piles.
In burn-
and only in burn piles.
Yeah. Not
No other
anything,
way.
Not in anything else.
Brilliant.
No. What even were
As I
we
was saying, I
Sorry.
believe we decided we're gonna head out to Bumbleduke.
Bless you.
Yes, Bumbleduke.
Bimbleduke.
Sounds.
Bimbo.
Bimble.
Bimbleduke.
Hmm.
Mm,
They
we'll
must
get it
have
right by
changed the
time we
name in the
get there.
past 500 years or so. I feel like it was Bumble before, but it's fine.
So we're gonna go by 2 feet in a heartbeat. We're gonna get a horse and buggy, perhaps.
How much does that cost?
We should
That is a
look into
question
it.
for the
A
stable.
cart?
A cart.
A
Yep.
cart and horse would be nice.
And
I love carts.
Mitch, do we know like kind of roughly how long that looks like? It's pretty far, but
It does look pretty fun.
You were told,
Days.
and I do not remember. Just bear with
is
me
it hex
one
a
moment.
day on
'Cause
this map?
it should be, if I remember correctly, each hex is 24 miles, which I think is what it is supposed to be. You can cover in a
like
day.
3-ish.
Let me
That's
just.
like less than a marathon. Let's go.
Yeah, like 3.
They
3
just
plus.
Yeah,
got these
well, it's a
boots.
fantasy marathon, Steph, okay? How many people do you know who run a marathon in full plate mail? Spare a thought for Warden.
I don't even know what.
Warden is plate mail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Doesn't mean
Well-
it's not heavy for him.
I mean, mechanically,
know.
it's actually chain mail, but yeah.
Yeah.
For aesthetics, it's plate.
Absolutely.
But a cart would be
Actually.
nice, and then we could like, if we needed to go further, we could cross over the stitches on our wagon. We could,
Yes,
you know,
you could if you wanted
there's
to go
things
up
we
north.
could do.
Never go
Could.
up north.
We come across a dragon
The
horde
Northerners
and we need to
staring at
haul
me
the
with-
gold away.
Yeah.
Capital U, capital N, up north. Trademark.
Gotta be
England.
careful if you're going up north.
One time I talked to some people from up north and I literally had to stop them and be like, I'm so sorry. I cannot understand you.
Where up north?
I have no. Like close to Scotland, I think.
Oh, very up north.
I could not. It was like. I got like maybe every fourth word.
So, because things are really annoying, the legend for the miles distance on the map is actually in the bottom right of the world map. So 1 hex is 100 miles.
Okay. Are we using standard PHB prices?
We will be, give or take, a few gold from
Okay.
the size of the city and how badly they need money and how willing they are to rip people off.
Right.
The
Just
classic
trying to-
DM or NPC dicking you over.
Right. Just getting I was just trying to make some notes on
of
this
course.
side here.
That's also partly why it took so long to answer the previous question, was because I was also reopening my notes on that in the background whilst also scrolling around the map to find the legend for the size of a hex, whilst also scrolling through other notes to find how far each hex is and how much you cover in a day and so on and so forth. However, if you must know, a warship is 25,000 gold pieces, so you're good on that front.
You know, Mitch, you can also
Noted.
delegate
Noted.
some of that looking up stuff. I'm
Yes.
happy. Like you.
Lindsay's brain is an encyclopedia.
No. Just really computer
Look her up,
proficient at
right?
looking up.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, draft horse is presumably better for pulling your carriage. I kept nearly saying cavern and I couldn't stop myself. I don't know
So,
why
about 50
cavern
for
was in my
that.
head.
38 for a wagon.
Yeah. Or 250 for a chariot if you want to feel like a badass.
Yeah, but then
Wait,
we
how
have,
much
like,
money do I have?
if we can scrape together 100 gold, we can get a decent horse and a decent wagon.
Bro, I think we each
Yeah.
have 250 gold.
Well, so
Yeah.
a
I got more than
wagon
that.
is 35, a carriage would be 100, a cart is 15. For your
Wagon!
consideration.
Wagon.
Wagon
Open
plus.
top wagon.
What? No, I want closed top wagon.
Stagecoach.
Yeah, stagecoach.
I should teach the
We're
stagecoach.
gonna have to ford the Colorado River, Lindsay. I'm very concerned. It needs to be
Gonna
close.
die of dysentery for sure.
I know.
Well, does
We're not stopping at
above
Chimney
table.
Rock, guys. Come on.
above table, does our bard have tiny hut?
No.
Okay.
You leave his tiny hut out of this.
But we have tents. We can make it covered.
I have unseen servant who can put our tents up.
There we go. So
I've never thought about using Unseen Servant that way. That is so.
a wagon is like a third of the price of a carriage.
But
Then we get
who
a
needs,
top on it.
We
who
put
needs tents when
on
you
it.
have shape water? Just saying.
Yeah, who
Right.
needs a tent when you need?
The all-purpose spell. Let's not drag this into campaign 2. I'm sorry.
Anyway,
Oh, we got a long rest, right?
wagon, horsey, go.
Yes, campaign 1 is the reason why I drink. Yes. Wagon,
Like
horse.
the first part or the part where I joined?
The first part. Definitely the first part.
All of the above.
Well, the
No,
same time that I stopped playing Miradosh is when we were all just like done.
Oh, so right when I joined. Right, got it.
Yeah. You
so
were
yes.
not the thing.
In the interest of saving you some time and sanity,
Yeah.
you are now the proud owners of a draft horse and wagon.
Ooh, what's the horse's name? Did it come
That-
with a name or do we get to name it?
Is entirely your choice. There's currently like a dialogue box that you can see just kind of
Wow.
floating 5 feet from your faces that just says enter name.
Should we perhaps wait to see what sort of personality it has before we name it? Just
I
I
throwing
think that's a
that out
wise
there.
idea.
I do too. What do you think, Warden? You're outvoted, but what do you think?
I've always been more of an Ox fan.
Oh, okay. Can we get an ox here, man? No, I'm joking. Oh. Oxes are cool.
Ooh,
Very strong in.
we could name it Ox.
There we
No,
go.
that's
It's a horse named Ox. Everyone's happy.
I can
There you
agree
go.
to this.
Okay.
There you go.
And
Diplomacy at its finest.
Beautiful,
And-
Chester. Beautiful.
when you're
Okay.
passing the reins to each other, you're passing the aux cable.
Ah!
Mm,
Took me a
I
second.
hated
Yeah, me
that
too. I
when
was
it
like,
popped into my
Click,
head.
click, click.
Hated that when it popped out of your mouth. Jeez.
It's not the first time I've heard that.
You made me drop all my drugs, like all of them.
Don't let
Good.
the myth get to the burn pile.
I can't.
Cool, so that's how today's session's going. Cool.
I have to leave early. Don't forget.
So, what's the plan then? You've got your
We're
horse and
gonna-
wagon. Where are you heading to?
Dura, Bimble Duke, Bimble. One of those
Where-
We
places.
have to
Westwood.
pass through Dura.
Where are we?
We're in.
You're in
Ebonwood.
Ebonwood.
Yes.
Take the western road westward.
Yes.
That's my favorite way to
Whereupon
go.
we will pass through Dura.
Yes, if you take the main road, which you probably will be in a horse and wagon, off-roading is very much not as much of an option when you're in a horse and cart.
We can't get off-roading wheels for this thing, and then like
Oh,
take
maybe.
the top off.
Get a
Well, you just
Pegasus and
needed-
some off-roading wheels.
A jeep, like a jeep.
You just unhook the horse from the wagon. The horse becomes the off-road portion of the horse and wagon.
Wow, that's why we pay you the medium box.
You guys are getting paid.
This is absolute chaos today. Okay.
All those secret PayPal accounts that I hooked up to all of our streaming services.
Oh my god! Lindsay 100% went there and then just took a drink. She's like, it's all those secret PayPal accounts.
But that's none of my business.
Oh my god, Lindsay, I love you. Fuck. Now I really need to take my drugs.
Oh god, why have they made things so annoying?
All right,
I'm trying
where
to
is
just
that
find the
box that you
speed.
said pops up? Never
We
mind.
entered Ox into it. Mira just wrote OX. It's
So
fish
should we
oil.
spell it Ox or should we spell it AUX so that it
We should spell it AUX because that's funnier. It's.
Yeah.
I'll just say it's Mira. Mira does it. She doesn't know how to spell. She's like, that's Ox, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
AUX.
Yes.
AU.
perfect?
By the time Warden reads it, the ink's already dry, so
Yeah. I'm gonna
my
look up
God.
craft horses while we're arcing.
Yes.
Oh.
I know they have a speed of 40 feet.
No, I want to pick a pretty one. That's what I'm doing.
Absolutely. What I'm trying to figure out is their movement speed for the day.
I think you still just do it.
Fair.
Day.
25 miles.
It's fine.
Well, the DMG,
This
there we
isn't-
go. Says
this
you
isn't-
divide
this
speed
isn't
by
a
10 to
crunchy
get
game.
travel No, we're grinding! We're doing travel grinding! Grindy travel, that's how I like to run my games.
I quit.
Minute by minute commentary of what you're doing on the road, where you're going to forage for food, where Warden stops to piss, everything, every
Warden
little
doesn't
detail.
Pee. Warden doesn't pee. He never
No, I know.
drinks anything.
not true.
Fluid change. We don't know.
Okay.
Canonically not true.
Canonically not true. Here's the funny thing, Mitch. Like, you joke about that, but Ethan and I were 100% in a game where the DM made us do like minute by minute, day by day, grindy shit, and we were all like, we want to die.
Wow.
We fired him.
Mm.
That's no fun. I mean,
Firing
firing for
him
some
was-
people.
None of us liked it.
Not gonna yuckity yums, but that's not a game I want to play.
None of us liked it.
Okay.
It was just like suffer for suffering's sake.
That's a pretty pony. Let's see.
Do you guys think that we should do some drugs today?
Yes.
Might do later.
It's my vitamin B12 injections that I haven't
I
done.
have my IRL game today, so I will be doing drugs by proxy because they smoke bowl after bowl after bowl.
That's a lot.
They do. It's continuous. I'm like high as a fucking kite after I leave that house, and I'm not even like actively participating. I'm just breathing.
Wow. I don't think I could deal with that. It's the secondhand smoke for me.
I think it's funny.
Like
I like to watch the DM fade as the session goes on. Like it starts real strong and he makes
that
like
is
cool
pretty
terrain
funny.
and stuff, but like by the end of it, his eyes are just kind of all over the place. He's like, "What? What are we? Oh yeah, so like you go into the castle." And there's a long pause.
See, I don't mind the smoking. I just don't think it's just not. I don't think it's an environment for my breathing and my asthma.
That's fair.
What a great word. I
So-
love miasma.
Yeah.
Oh my
Miasma.
god.
There definitely is a miasma.
Oh, you
A
choose a travel
wheeze?
pace as normal. Fuck's
It's-
sake.
Jay used to be like a really big pothead before we met, so he'll always just be like, "It smells pretty dank." Or like if I have a candle that has like incense or something like as a scent in it, he'll be like, "It smells like a weed shop in here," and I'm like, "Okay, can you leave?"
So,
I smoked like twice in my life.
everything I can see is telling me that you continue to travel at normal travel paces, even with horse and wagon. It just means you can carry a lot more. And it's
And
obviously,
rest our footsies.
yes, less of a risk of exhaustion, but the horse can get exhausted.
Not our ox. We're gonna take good care of him.
Yeah, he is the best ox. Is it like an ox cable where you have to like replace him every like so often because it's just
No, we're really good with our aux management, or aux cable management, so they last a long time.
That was actually like an issue I had this morning. Was like my DisplayPort cable was like, ugh, and I was like, anyway.
Okay,
So,
I'm gonna go with this guy.
are we going straight on the road?
He's not too fancy,
Go
but
on.
he's pretty.
Love him.
Ooh. It's like a Shire draft.
What is this music, Mitch?
It was the tavern music, but it might be
Oh.
slowing down because I'm switching between apps.
Oh,
Oh,
Ooh.
is there a
Okay.
harmonica? Is that guy still around?
No, that's the town music.
Oh.
oh, he's pretty. I like that.
Yeah. Go.
So, we heading straight out on the road?
Mm-hmm.
We're gone.
On the road
Yeah.
again.
Cool.
Rip has a little cowboy hat.
Hell yeah. Is he...
Is he riding on Biscuit?
Yeah.
I was going to say, is he riding on Ox?
No, he's riding on Biscuit Basket.
Biscuit Basket, yeah.
Nice.
Biscuit Basket could ride on Ox though.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, you head out into the surrounding forests then of the Sleeping Gardens, which Linger is probably all too happy to be back in, as long as you don't
Yeah.
off-road into the bad parts, where she was for a little too long. Is there anything in particular anyone wanted to be doing while in the wagon on the first leg of the journey?
Yeah, I guess Linger's just gonna keep a general eye out for ingredients. General eye out. Although it's along the road, so I don't really expect to get like
General Eye Out is my favorite. Sorry.
yeah. Don't really expect to get a whole lot of
Yeah.
ingredients. But
Um,
she can tinker around with her alchemy a little bit. Nothing major. Just like simple infusions and stuff, because still a bumpy cart. So
Okay. I will say, if it's for the purposes of alchemy stuff, give me either an Arcana or Medicine check, please. And we'll basically just say it's like an identifying check rather than saying, give me a perception check to see if you notice anything first, and then give me this check to see if it's actually an ingredient.
all right. 15.
Cool. Anyone else doing anything?
Yeah, Chester's going to try to be very, very subtle about this, but he's going to try to never be walking and always in the cart. Like he's gonna make it when he is walking. He's gonna make it very obvious. So it seems like he's been doing it for a long time, and maybe occasionally throw counts out while walking. So it's like the time passes slowly, and then when he's in the cart, just sort of, I could fit in the small space of a small, because bugbears can do that. So he's gonna be very subtle,
Just folds himself into the caravan.
basically.
Can I make bath bombs like for a little while? Just like I'm running out. I don't know if I have the materials, but I assume that she must have some sort of like material. I don't
Deb?
know.
Oh, you're there. Hello.
I-
You'd vanished for
can
a
you hear
second.
me?
Yes.
Oh no, I just paused. I was using full brain power.
Whoa, calm down. Careful there.
Yeah, I know. It was like firing on all cylinders. And by cylinders, I mean cylinder. Just one. Only one cylinder is currently firing. And it's not doing well. It needs help. No, yeah, can Mira make bath bombs? I was just like sitting here thinking about whether or not she has ingredients. And then in my brain, I was like, maybe she doesn't even make them. Maybe she just pulls them out of nowhere. But that's That's a story for another day, or a concept for another day. So,
I will say also, give me. There's no
bath bomb
create
check?
bath bomb check, unfortunately. I will say. Trying to think now what the actual skills we even have available that are remotely close are. Give me a
There's no.
medicine
custom
check.
tool.
Oh. Okay. I'm actually proficient in this.
Because
17.
that seems kind of appropriate, given that a lot of the time you're like, so this one's really good for stress, this one's good
It's
for your
true.
skin.
And it's actually appropriate that I'm proficient in this. Hooray!
If Chester sees you do that, he's gonna, sort of look on and, you know what? You are very good at that, and I do believe this will be a tremendous success. And he'll give you some bardic inspiration for a nice D8 on
Aw.
top of that.
Nice.
Cute. Oh, so cute.
Do you have anything to help keep metal from rusting?
So what?
Oh. So it's an 18.
18.
Does your metal rust a lot?
Sometimes.
Okay. Do I know what keeps metal from rusting?
Make an intelligence check.
So I'm gonna say I probably don't, unless I shouldn't have wasted that bardic. A 12, actually not bad for Mura.
You have a approximate knowledge of what might cause metal to rust, yeah?
Okay, so do I personally know what causes water? Water being in the environment. Okay. Well, we've got to make sure that we keep you dry first. Do you get wet often?
Ooh, this is taking a turn.
Dura,
This
you
conversation.
can't just ask people.
Sometimes it cannot be helped.
So that got clipped.
Okay, that's very understandable. It's just, like a lot of bodies of water. I mean, Mura says this as she looks wet all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it can't be helped, says Mura. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Oh my god. Okay, all right. So I think that perhaps the best thing to do is to keep yourself dry and lubricate well. I think there might be some polishing that needs to be involved, but so yeah. I think that's how you keep from rusting.
Well, I already knew that part, but thank you for your help.
If I have a bath bomb that will help you to keep from rusting. You can't get wet.
Do I do an alchemy check for WD-40? How do I?
Yeah.
You could probably try making some, yeah. With
I
alchemy.
could try.
Does Linga want to, or does she want to sit back and watch Mura try to?
No, just watching this. This is
Okay.
she's in her head. She's thinking about it, but
I could. I'm probably not
Could.
going to, but I could.
Could I make a?
I mean, if he was in a bad spot and was having trouble moving, yes, she would do something. But this
Could
is
I?
more entertaining.
Could I make a lubricating bath bomb that doesn't involve water? Because you can't get wet.
Just an oil bath.
Yes, I have a lot of oil. Mira takes out like her essential oils collection that I assume that she has. If you'd like to sign up for my
tiny
MLM, this can cure anything. No, absolutely the fuck not. Yeah, just like the tiniest little vials. Yeah, so what do you want to smell like?
What fragrances do you have?
Okay, so I've got peppermint, I've got lavender, I've got sweet orange, I've got grapefruit, I've got lemon, I've also got, hold on, let me check some of my vials really quick.
Okay, above table, Stephanie, are you just reading like the candles on the shelf nearby?
No,
Those
are too far away, but I actually do have like some essential oils for my essential oil diffuser. Those are all off the top of my head. I've got black pepper, I've got blood orange, I've got ginger, I've got
Blood orange. She's so pretentious.
It is.
I would recommend the neem root. That's a particular favorite.
Hold on, let me go.
Especially the crimson one.
Yeah, well, that's expensive, very hard to find. In fact, a real fucking pain in the ass to find.
I have to say that if anybody, like, I'm not an essential oils girly, but if anybody is looking for essential oils that is not part of an MLM and will never be part of an MLM and it's good shit, go to planttherapy.com. They're great. Sponsor us, Plant Therapy. I love your stuff.
I'd be down.
Yeah. Okay, I have that's literally where I am right now to read this. I've got God, I almost said caraway seed, which they do have, but like, why would I have that? I've got allspice. I've got some just regular sandalwood, not Australian, as I almost said, because that doesn't exist here. I've got sandalwood.
It's called
the greatest fantasy realm, Australia.
Fantasy Australia.
It's just the Underdark.
You mean the Underdark? Damn it! I've got basil. I've got bergamot. I've got blue tansy and blue cypress.
I think I'll just do sweet orange. Just stopping her.
I was literally waiting just for someone to be like, "Oh God, please." I've got.
If for some reason she ever casts grease, is it just she can just dump all of
smells
that?
so good.
It smells like a lush.
Cool.
It smells like a drunkard.
Linga, you have alchemist supplies, don't
I
you?
didn't mean to do that.
I do.
I just start like taking it and like dousing it on.
Is Chester doing anything outside of just pretending to walk
Pretending to walk
and just watching everything go down?
Yeah, offering to help where he is able and sometimes where he's not able.
And Warden, are you just test subjecting for Mura's oil?
I think that's my only option. Yeah.
Just
are you
orange,
just
though.
sitting in the wagon and just letting Mura lube you up?
So just to clarify, is Rip actually driving the wagon?
I guess so at this point. Yeah.
Okay, I was like, wait, there's
The
she's doing
wagon's
that,
not
I'm doing this, and
moving.
she's doing this, and okay.
The background's just moving, not the wagon. It's like,
I can get the Belvedere.
You're just on
out
like
to
a
drive
treadmill in the
There
background
we go.
scrolling.
Belvedere and Rip.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Cool.
We are the
So,
laziest adventurers.
what pace are you guys traveling at? Slow, normal, or fast?
Lazy.
lazy pace.
Slow.
Yes, we are stopping to smell all of the roses.
Cool. Well, if it is slow, then Linga has nailed the foraging check for traveling at a slow
Sweet.
pace, which is good. That was the main reason for checking.
Okay.
2-hour session, that's fine. You've got plenty of time. I'm using the Alchemy Almanac from Heavy Arms here.
Yeah.
We love Heavy Arms.
The road. DM value is
So-
Mitch.
DC, it depends on the item rarity, that's fine. So yeah, are you attempting to create anything specific?
I don't have the PDF open, so I'm gonna say no. Just sort
Or
of
you,
like
you can
some,
also just
some
be like,
base
yeah,
base things that you would use in the future. Like oh, this particular liquid is great for strength based potions, and this one is a base
Mhm.
for anti coagulants. I don't know.
yeah.
Linger knows. I have no idea.
Yes, neither do I, which is why I'm reading.
Yeah, this one helps make your fingers sticky so you can climb better.
Yes, and a lot of the reagents that you're picking up
That's the word.
need extracting and purifying.
Yeah,
Of
doing
course,
all that.
we all knew that.
Mhm,
And that's
this
what
is
you're
the
doing.
busy work.
You're getting
you know?
those ready. So I will say
Doing some sun steeping. You know.
there are, fortunately, 6 categories. Brilliant. I will say, can you roll me 3d6, please, Linga?
Oh, maybe. Where does one go? Oh, here we go. This thing. I need 3 of those bad boys.
And cool, we do
Six,
get
three,
the individual
six.
numbers. Excellent. That's what I wanted. 6,
Go back to
3,
the
6.
log.
Excellent. So you have. So it's more for the, because apparently this has 3 different ways of making all potions and stuff. So you can do it alchemical, herbal alchemy, or tissue transmutation from like creature parts. So using the herbal alchemy, obviously, because you're traveling around outside and you can't exactly be like, oh yes, this plant is alcohol.
Yeah.
But you do manage to scrape together, and I'm going to roll a die for you. Boop! You manage to get together 4 of each. So you've got vials of earth reagent and shadow reagent, apparently. That's a 3 and a 6 from how I'm reading the table today, because it's split into 2.
Okay. So 4 earths and 4 shadows?
No, because it was 636, wasn't it? So 4 earth and 8 shadow, because shadow came up twice.
Okay.
Alchemy!
Woo! Wasn't that exciting, everybody?
Yeah. It'll get faster when I know what I'm doing and I have the book in Shard instead of trying to find it in my PDFs.
Yeah.
It's alright, I'll convert it at some point.
Yeah. Ever seen somebody milk a shadow? Now you have.
Now you have.
Well, it's also it's certain plants and things like that.
No.
You're milking shadows.
She milked a
okay.
shadow. Mhm.
Whose shadow did you milk? Your own? Or-
No, well, no one, because that's very personal. You don't
you
milk
just-
shadows of friends and family. It's we're milking the shadows of the plants.
Is it
You know,
is it
that's where
too
they come in.
dangerous to milk Rip to get pure shadow
God.
essence?
That
Mm.
we don't want that. You want shadow monsters? That's how you get shadow monsters. No,
That's how you get man-made
milk-
horrors beyond your comprehension.
yes. So we're not doing that today. Just milking plant shadows and tree shadows. Trees are plants, but bigger.
Uh-huh.
Maybe there's some woodland creatures that stay still long enough.
Yeah. Okay, brilliant. Mura. Oh, sorry.
One boy named Peter Pan goes by. We take a little bit of his shadow.
Classic.
Mm-hmm.
Mura.
Yes.
You do manage to scrape together a couple of bath bombs. So can you roll me a... What did you roll? 18? D8.
Cool. Yeah, I can do that. Mm-hmm. 4.
4. You make 4 bath bombs.
Yay. Inventory. Okay. How do I add shit to my ad?
But you are definitely starting to run dangerously low on your bath bomb making supplies.
Oh, God.
Mostly because you didn't have any when we started this game. And if
I just
Linga
figured I
needs
had
ingredients,
it.
so do you.
That's true. Do you want me
But
to
also,
like make you
bath
a
bombs
list of
serve much less of a
Nope.
purpose than potions. But if you're
Do
going to
you
keep
want
trying to
me-
sell them,
I'll make you a list of ingredients.
we'll see. If I make you use ingredients, then maybe you can actually properly sell them.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
But anyway, presumably while Mira's busy making bath bombs and not lubing Warden, he is driving. And while Warden is not driving, Chester is pretending that he's driven for the past 2 hours and sees Linga busy, so summons the unseen servant. But the first day goes by pretty uneventfully. And you guys presumably stop to make camp. Is
Mhm.
there anything you guys would like to do RP-wise or otherwise in terms of camping for the night?
I think Warren's just doing some general maintenance with the new tools that they bought. You know,
And Chester will have Belvedere do most of the camp setup, so we can all just sit back and relax.
Sure.
Let me take care of it. When I say me, I mean, of course, my good friend here, Belvedere. Oh, I almost forgot. And he pulls out the little felt mustache and places it in place. There you go. That way no one will bump into you.
I love that so much.
It does take a lot longer for the camp to be set up, obviously, given that it's only
okay.
one unseen servant shuffling around. But hey, it's one less
I
job for you
help.
guys.
I'll help the unseen servant. I'm unseen Mira. No, yeah, I'll help him.
Cool.
Linger is gonna. Normally, she's by herself when she does this, so it's, I guess, kind of unusual, but like not shocking or anything. But she's gonna sit with her book, like on her lap, and start like she's making notes with the quill that she summons, and is like doing like arcane mathematics and sort of working out some spell stuff like she does.
Mm-hmm. Glowing
kinda
runes
glows and-
everywhere.
Yeah, and like the more like focused she is, the more like there's like a glow in the center of her chest kind of situation, and the book glows, and obviously one is tied to the other. We all get that. We're smart people.
Well, we are. The characters.
We're definitely people.
Eesh.
My eyes
Um,
so itchy. I'm so sorry for all the viewers, all 3 of you, that you have to keep seeing me poke my eye. It just itches.
Been there, done
Allergies.
that.
It's all good. what are the rest of you guys doing then while Linger is just being a nerd?
Yep, total nerd.
That's all it's been reduced to.
I think seeing the cool glow, Chester's gonna go peek over her shoulder a little bit. Oh, yeah, this is quite fascinating. This is some sort of arcane math, I understand. It looks like you forgot to cure the one on that one. That's okay. You'll do better.
Oh, I will make note of that, and she just makes a number 1 just on the sheet. It's not like, doesn't really seem like it's tied to anything, but she puts it on there anyway. Just to...
I feel like telling Linger her maths is wrong when it isn't is a very good way to get stabbed. If you're not her friend.
Yeah.
That's
Oh
always
yeah.
the worst. Like when someone like in class tried correcting the teacher, like who's teaching out of a book, but they still tried correcting them.
Mm-hmm.
Like has anyone else had that? You know?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so.
Especially in college.
Yeah, we had at university, someone tried to correct our lecture and he was like, cool, I wrote the book.
That's some balls.
That's funny.
So bad.
Damn.
You
Because it
know,
was like a niche film thing. And they were like, actually, I thought the principle of this was this, and you'll find actually in this chapter of the book, they talk about this. And he was like, no, I wrote the book. And I didn't. That's not what I meant. He was like, they actually meant this.
Fantastic.
So bad.
Amazing.
There's actually a similar story where, while writing, I think it was The Hobbit, J.R.R. Tolkien's editor wrote back to him saying, hey, you keep spelling dwarves with a V, and according to the dictionary, dwarves is spelled with an FS instead of a VES. And to which Tolkien wrote back saying, hey, check on, the name of the authors of that dictionary you're reading. And sure enough, J.R.R. Tolkien's name was on the dictionary, so he basically
do what he
said,
wants.
I outrank you.
Yeah.
I can do what I want. I wrote the dictionary. I awoke. It's too early for me, people.
But yeah, she'll make the notation as though she's listening, because he is a friend / ally. She's learned to tolerate the shenanigans of the group, but absolutely, if this was a stranger, she would have just stabbed them to the heart with her tail and been done with it.
Or disintegrated them like she did to that teacher.
Yeah. But speaking of her
so,
tail, it is like flicking to the side like a slightly annoyed cat, but
So, maybe Chester notices. So this is a sort of book magic, would you say? The magic of books.
Yes, you could definitely say that. A bit more in my case specifically. So this wasn't my original book.
Ooh, do tell.
This one came, I think this actually belonged to one of my school companions. It fell with me and was the only one I could reach when I landed. So I've been using it. And
when you say you fell, do you mean from heaven? I'm just kidding.
Oh, it was
clearly
certainly not
crawled
heaven.
from the depths of hell.
It's mortal.
Yeah. No, not from heaven.
Yours
But-
is just low.
I guess in one could say that when I landed, I hit so hard that part of my soul bounced out and into the book. So
Classic bouncy soul. I see. That's
right,
really
yes, that's
interesting.
the simplest way I could break that down, I think.
You know what? That very much for me begs the question: is this a good thing? Is it good that part of your soul's in this book, or do you want to get it out of the book and put it back in here? I can see it going both ways.
I think based on some things that I've studied in the past, I think it will ultimately benefit me to have part of my essence stored externally. Yes.
He puts his hand up for a high five.
Very reluctant, or like almost confused, not reluctant, just like, okay, and gives the high five.
Nice. Yes, that is most nice. Well, I'll leave you to it. I was just, curious. I see
Yeah,
glowy
thank
books and people. I gotta know what's going on.
Well, what about yourself? You seem to have an interest in books and studying to some extent. Is that?
Hey, I'm very much in favor of the written word, of the spoken word, of voids in general. Great power in voids. Some of my magical abilities a little more nebulous, a little more from words, from music, from things of that nature.
Did you train in this formally, or is this something you've picked up just on your travels? Did you have a mentor or anything?
Not necessarily a mentor. I was just a precocious youth, and my parents ran what are those shops called? A cartography shop.
Mm-hmm.
And one day I turned one of their spyglasses into a sort of horn. And then from that moment on, I just sort of took off with it and eventually joined a band, as you want to do when you are a musician. And, things happened and the band broke up. It's not unusual. And I found myself here.
See, did you ever perform with your band anywhere particularly notable?
We were mostly known in Dragon's End. That's where we played out of there mostly. Octarine Fluid was our name.
Nice.
But we played around the surrounding areas there.
Do you still
That's
perform
actually
any of the musical numbers that you did with Octarine Fluid?
It's funny you asked that because I actually had to pawn my saxophone in Dragon's End. So now that I got a little more money in my pocket, should we ever get back there, I hope to repurchase that lovely little instrument.
Do you play any other instruments?
Play the drums, and I'll give you a little. Let me check my character sheet for one moment.
Fun.
But definitely the horn, the drums, where are my other things? Those are the two main ones, though. Especially since I don't know where the other ones are.
Maybe you could
Proficiencies.
perform some music for us while we're camping. I remember that was always something we enjoyed in the evenings when I was in school.
Well, without my horn, it would be a bit of a drum solo. Maybe some of the others know an instrument.
Huh? Oh, I can play the lyre.
I don't believe you.
Hey.
Oh, really,
Do you remember the students that were more into the natural magics of the world? They played drums a lot in circles. They would just get together and drum it out, I believe is the term they used.
The nice thing about learning to play the drums is basically you always got something at hand to hit with something else, and then you got yourself a pair of drums right there.
Rip is an accomplished dancer, if you know.
Cha cha cha.
And what has he accomplished?
Several blue ribbons, and various competitions. It's been a long time, but
He actually directed Swan Lake.
with real swans, which was impressive.
Ooh.
We were in the forest for a very long time. Turns out squirrels can really put on quite a show.
Yeah, I
The
hit
right
the
direction.
nuts.
Possums are actually quite masterful at interpretive dance, we learned.
No, I will never
Or-
guess that.
Or I was slightly mad at the time. You know, either way, it was entertaining.
Okay, so are you saying that Rip is a choreographer?
Yes.
Hmm.
hmm I believe he is one of the best dancers in recent history.
Surely. Surely he is the Barishnikov of our age.
Now, whether or not he is, whole different thing, but Linger believes.
Should we ever need to make money in our travels, perhaps a little playing of music, a little dancing, I surely would, sit and watch that for a time.
Hey, Mitch, how do I multi-class my familiar into Bard?
Uh,
If I can help.
well,
And if I can help in any way.
I don't know.
That's fair.
You
Rip is
asked
just
very
becoming
nicely.
Rip is just becoming his own character.
It really
like,
is.
slowly and surely.
Cool.
Yeah.
Are you
Ooh.
doing anything else over the evening?
I'm trying to get Chester to perform. I don't know. It's not working.
Yeah, he'll start tapping a little. He doesn't actually have any instruments on him. Very
Yeah,
bad
no.
bard. Now that he's not horny, he doesn't have instruments. The worst bard
That
ever.
first one I can get behind.
You're oh wait, did I sell my lyre? Hold
You
on.
did.
Yes.
Shit.
You were like, I never use this. And you
And I'm never going to, so I'm going to sell it.
I did not take it out of my inventory, but now I have.
Well,
I
maybe
was-
Chester can do like a stomp kind of performance, you
We'll
know?
do a
Yeah.
combo stomp with a little spoken words.
Hell
He's gonna want you
yeah.
to snap your fingers instead of clap.
We love that.
Make a
Mhm.
performance
Mhm.
check.
I don't think I've had to do a performance check yet. Okay, I'm okay with that. Depending on how I roll, which is bad 10.
Fair enough. It's all right. He's
Yeah,
a little
fair
caught
enough.
out of sorts by the fact that he doesn't have his instruments. He wasn't prepared. That's the issue. The spoken word, the poetry, and that sort of thing. Sorry, excuse me. Is really what's carrying him through the performance. You've seen him throughout your fights and throughout just how he is on a day-to-day basis, and you know that there is absolutely zero need for preparation on the spoken word. He can just do it.
Speak words.
The rest, bit rusty. Could do with an instrument, you think, from the looks of it.
You
Or a
know
bit of
what?
prep.
I have not played in a hot minute, and I also feel like I've been, I don't know how to phrase this exactly, focusing a little more on my roguish capabilities. However, after this, not great, I will admit performance. Maybe I will focus more on pursuing the bodily arts.
I think you're a wonderful performer, and it would be a shame to let that raw talent fizzle away.
Agreed.
I think I can keep making small talk, or he can go do whatever, and she can go back to studying.
Mhm.
You know.
Or-
Mira wants to talk to Warden just really quickly. I will not make this a long thing. She's just like, how is the sweet orange oil lubrication working for you? Do you feel lubricated?
I believe so, yes. There's less what's the word? There's less grinding between some of the plates. So
Perfect. That's great. That's great.
and it really grinds my gears whenever they grind. So
Oh yeah, I totally get that. She makes grinding noises for like 2 seconds.
you don't have to do grinding noises. Thank you.
Oh, sorry. Just like, okay. Bye. Sleep good.
Yeah, he waves back. If you're waving at him, he waves
She
back
waves.
with his like detached left arm.
Yeah.
No, not really. But
He just takes his left arm off. Sorry, I have a delivery. Thank you. Thank you.
because you have your background like blurred. It's just like this
Amorphous blob.
Yeah.
My husband.
And,
Oh my gosh. Anyway. Oh Lord. Yeah, okay. So Mira's just like, all right. Bye. She walks backwards, trips over her. Okay, well, there we go. Trips over her foot. Does a barrel roll. Yeah. Goes to her tent.
What's not moving?
That's putting it lightly. Oh
Well-
my god, Pandora.
If if that's everyone's plans for the evening, you then settle down for your rest for the night, and we're going to go ahead and take a break.
Perfect.
Woo!
What good timing. We will be back in 10 minutes.
Challenge
See
prayer.
ya.
Silence.
We did say 10 minutes anyway before we went to the break. Hello, we're back.
Hey!
I accidentally left the timer on 5 minutes instead of 10 minutes. So it's been saying that we'll be back now for a while now. But now we're back because it has been 10 minutes. Crazy how that works.
Time.
Unfortunately, a lot of the time the reason why we take a break is because most of us have to pee. So 10 minutes is needed.
No,
We
Mitch,
pee
have a
very
player-
long.
We have a
That's
player
a
meeting.
long pee.
Yeah. It's because I have to write to the Queen and ask for her permission. Oh, sorry, the King, and ask for his
She's
permission to pee
dead.
first.
Gonna take a while to get that back.
Yeah, so that the first 5 minutes is really just waiting for the handwritten and sealed response delivered by Tower of London
Owl.
Raven
Oh, okay.
from the King saying, yes, you may.
Most people
Relieve
don't
your
know
bladder.
this. Most people don't know this, but the Declaration of Independence is actually just a poorly misread declaration, a request to use the restroom from the
Yes.
colonies.
Oh, it's a hall pass.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a hall
Okay.
pass. It's just that the English mistook it, and this crazy
Yeah.
accident happened. You know,
We
And we just
wanted
kind of
to
rolled
go-
with it.
We just wanted permanent ability to go to the bathroom without checking in every time.
oh dog.
And now guns.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But yes, with that, morning rolls around, as does Chester.
Okay.
We're just standing over Chester. You roll a lot in your sleep.
My beauty sleep.
You should consider getting better back support.
All right, pillow on the agenda. Body pillow, that might be nice. Oh, you know what? Maybe we can get some sort of pretty lady printed on the case. Oh, that would be nice.
That's it. I'm ending the campaign here.
Yeah, yeah. I don't even know how to respond to that.
I'm packing
brain
up.
Just went blep.
I'm leaving. Goodbye. Chester's goblin body pillow. I don't know. I don't even know what race
Yeah.
Chester would put on his body pillow. We just had sexy goblin recently. Um,
Well, his
To be fair, that was our perception of sexy. Apparently, not
Exactly.
the actual goblin's perception of sexy.
If we
His-
ever have merchandise, it better be that.
No.
what a sexy
tell you-
goblin body pillow.
Yeah, or just
Yeah.
all of our characters, honestly, you know?
Sexy, all of our characters as sexy goblins, or just all of our characters as body pillows?
We'll have two
They're just-
versions. First wave is normal, and second wave is goblin.
Honestly, Samarel body
Just
pillow.
anime
Whew.
versions.
That's so campaign one.
Are you telling me you wouldn't buy a Samarel body pillow?
Half of your sentence was just peaked. Like,
Yeah.
the sound suppression peaked a little bit.
Or like a Gunark one that's twice the length of anyone's bed.
I don't know who Gunark is, so
He was our Minotaur who was like 8 foot.
Yeah.
If we have a
I
Chester
move.
one, can it just like come with like arm extensions, like on Velcro
yeah.
or something?
Yes.
Oh
So
yeah.
that
And
Yeah,
can
a
it,
nice
like
hug.
he can wrap around you and hug you, kind of.
I want
That'd
it
be
to be furry
I'd buy
too.
that.
Like
I
actually
would.
like Muppet fur pillow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd buy that.
Uh-huh.
Practical Heroes match. Let's go.
Shag pillow.
But like, also one of those ones where like if you push the fur one way, it's Chester, but if you then push it the other way, it's Warden.
That'd have to be very short fur. I was thinking like big, luxurious,
Fair.
dig your fingers in fur.
Fair,
You
fair.
could have two kinds.
There you go. Now, the rip body pillows.
Throw pillow.
Very tiny, miniature, so
It's just
small.
plushies. There's not even pillows. It's just
I-
a series of plushies.
Honestly, would kill a man for a rip plushie.
Same.
Someone get on making us rip plushies, because why should we have
Yeah,
to
let me
do any
text my
work?
son. He buys custom plushies all the time.
Oh my
Does
god,
he really?
Yeah, Owen
that's
loves
awesome.
custom plushies. It's just his thing.
That's
Wait,
awesome.
I want that link or something.
I know,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna ask him. I'm like, how do you get the custom plushies?
So, you guys awaken to the various sounds of the sleeping gardens around you. That was a well-timed sound effect. Thanks, Shard.
Yeah.
That was so well-timed, I've forgotten where I was going with that.
We were going forward, westward.
Yes. Can everyone give me a little intelligence check?
Sure.
It's just funny to see what will happen.
15.
Oh, that's
Boom,
not bad.
Chester with
Very
a
smart.
moment of inspiration.
9.
9.
14.
Damn. The
So
boys
Linda's
are on
still
it.
half asleep.
Just distracted. I don't know what
Yes.
she's doing.
Chester and Warden, however, certainly something that is noticeable when you're out and about in the sleeping gardens. Somewhat harder to see yesterday in the evening when it was getting darker, but now that you have light kind of spilling through the canopy of trees, the trees that you are surrounded by for the most part, there's kind of a smattering throughout them. I mean, in close range, probably only 2 or 3 of each, but you do notice, effectively just based off the barks of these trees, there's a very deep brown and a somewhat cyan-coloured tree. So you kind of put the 2 and 2 together, and you are close to some fully grown darkwood trees and spiritual wood trees. So the darkwood is
Oh.
the very deep brown, and the spiritual wood is the more cyan one. And Chester, with your role, you would know. So darkwood is, whilst wood, it can often be used to replace metal for making medium or heavy armor. And similarly with the spiritual wood, it can be used to replace metal in a medium or heavy armor. And you know it has a very, I mean, people have written songs and poems about spiritual wood before, and they're coming to you now. It has a fairly deep-rooted connection to magic. So you'd know above table, while wearing armor made of spiritual wood, you have advantage on concentration checks to maintain a spell. So these are pretty valuable materials if you guys were to want to try and harvest any of them.
He'll definitely share that with everyone. Yeah, so this magical wood, by the way, that was a nickname for me at one point. Very good in the sort of department of magical protection. Particularly, I got a few spells I have to concentrate on from time to time, which is not my favorite thing. Concentration would help in that area.
Then we should get it. The wood.
All right. Well, let me just get my saw here. I'll wait.
Gonna help
I
Chester
don't
get
own a
wood?
saw.
I will, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, both the dark wood and the spiritual wood can be sold for quite high prices or used for making stuff. Let's have a look at what equipment you guys actually have.
So I was just like,
I have a
no.
crowbar. Let's pry it out.
Which, as a fun note, all of Linger's necrotic magic is cyan. So that's fun.
Mm.
Death trees. Dun, dun, dun. Let's see. What does she
Does
have?
Warden
She's
have any
got-
spare weapons that can be used to cut it down? Light crossbow. Shoot it till
what
it
are
falls.
Don't know. Don't see anything.
I mean, you can always go at it with the greatsword. What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, so if it's good enough for armor, then I'm assuming that means that it's
By extension.
Pretty strong. Also, I'll be right back. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Okay, what if? Let me look at her spell book.
Yeah, I was thinking spells. Perhaps I don't really see any of my own that would help taking a tree down necessarily.
Let's see. Sorry, this one. I'm still not used to the way that this gives
It's all right.
everything. So there's not like this is her spell book. It's just like this is prepared and this is everything.
Oh, I see.
Um,
There must be a way to... I'll ask.
How thick is one of these trees? There's a question for you.
About as thick as a normal tree. I don't know. I'm not a tree guy. I don't know these
Normal
things.
tree. Normal tree size. Okay.
there we go. Selected.
it's an aspen. You can tell by the way that it is.
What if
The lodge.
we cast Shatter at its roots?
Yeah, the only thunder note, that was the only sort of thing, get some nice loud crashing. I don't know how well that would do. Thunder damage, you do shatter. The only other thought I had is if we tie a rope to the top of the tree and just sort of pull it while we're doing that, maybe the tension combined with the various thunder damages will pop it off like a ingrown hair.
I could cast a spell on myself and have claws for a little while.
You could peel
Try
some
to-
of the bark off with the claws.
Yeah.
I have claws.
Fangs. I could just bite at it.
Oh, okay, yeah. How about you get it started with your claws, and I'll get in there with this crowbar and try to, give one of these.
Let's see.
So is that
Anything
alter
else?
self?
It is.
Oh, what a guess. Oh, there is a way to show if the selected spells are your spell book.
I found
Lindsay.
it.
Yeah, at the top there's list and
I found,
selected.
yeah,
and then,
I found
yeah.
it. Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
That does make it a lot
We
easier.
got there. We got there.
Yes. Alter
well-
self.
I mean, it's literally like I can grow claws, fangs.
Yeah.
It's not.
I'm just
not
having a
gonna
look.
be.
Unarmed strikes deal 1d6 bludgeoning. Piercing or slashing is appropriate. You are proficient. Finally, it's magic. And you have a +1 to... Cool.
It'd just be better if, like, I mean, a sword is going to be way more effective. Probably just shatter at the roots, maybe, would be a way to go. I don't know.
Also,
Chopping
we
it
can
up
do
seems
everything.
hard. Pulling it up might be a better. You just
I mean,
hit it a
you
bunch of
don't-
times with magic missile.
You don't have to collect the materials. They're not common by any means, but they're not crazy hard to find down in the Sleeping Gardens where trees are everywhere.
All right, why don't I just take this crowbar,
Just before you spend,
try to
like,
get it started.
An hour driving yourselves crazy trying to do this and being
If
like,
it works,
no.
it works. If it doesn't work, well, we will cry. So he's going to take his crowbar and jam it in and try to peel the bark off. Yeah, peeling bark off. That's a thing, I think.
Give me... I'll say either a strength or dexterity check, your choice. I feel like dexterity could certainly play into things if you're trying to peel bark without just cracking it.
He's going to go strength, and crowbar should give me advantage. At least that's what it says.
Does it?
Under crowbar.
Very
which
well.
I'm going to need. 16.
16. I was wondering why crowbar wasn't showing. That's because I'm looking at your spells. There it is. Using a crowbar gives advantage to strength checks. Cool. Yeah, wow. Just saw your roll. Yeah, with a 16.
Yeah, I didn't need advantage.
As Mura looks up from helping the unseen servant pack up the camp, the other three are crowded round the trees, and Chester is prying bark off slowly with a crowbar. Which tree were you going for, Chester?
The armor concentration one?
Cool. The
Sounds
spiritual
like
wood.
the spiritual wood.
Would you like to roll me a d4, please?
Would you kindly?
Wood.
Oaths. 2.
You managed to get 2 pretty solid pieces of spiritual wood bark.
All right. Well, not a complete failure. I will take that as a total win.
How many pieces of bark do you need to make an armor?
So it kind of varies, but generally it's measured in units because it makes things a lot less rigid. The idea being, along with any other materials needed for the armor in general and the cost of making the armor in general, you need 3 units to make armor and 2 units to make most weapons. 1 for arrows, usually.
And we have how many units now?
2.
2.
2. All right. For funsies, we'll
Bear in mind as well, this is for medium or heavy armor. Spiritual wood.
yeah, I can't use any armor, so this is just fun.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying.
Just to be helpful. Just to be helpful, you know.
Mhm.
What if? Okay, I'm gonna try to smack it with some lightning, pop some stuff off that way. Does that sound good to everybody?
Sounds
Like
good to
that?
me.
Yeah.
Or smack it with some cold and see if it'll snap off.
I feel like I think maybe cold first, then lightning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Logic.
Then Lingo is going to go over, gonna open her book. Rip's gonna climb down from her horns and run across the pages like you do to turn them to a specific page, and then spread out to hold the pages down. And she will do a little. What's this? Yeah, reaches into her pocket to get a little pepper. It's a little white pepper. She takes a bite, and then breathes out a. Is this a cone? What is this? She's fired. Oh, it's just. That's stupid. I don't like that. It says it's a touch. She's not going to touch. She's still going to breathe out. A cloud of just blizzard, snowy goodness onto the bark of the tree.
Excellent. What spell is this?
Dragon's breath.
Ah.
And now I'll go over here and I'll actually cast it. Maybe.
Source. Imported. Where from? I assume. Probably.
This isn't official.
Yeah, I do recognize it. I've just not really seen anyone use it, I don't think.
How do I... Is it this? 10 damage.
Oh, it says range touch because you touch one creature and give it the power to breathe it.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I'm too. Yeah.
Cool. 10 damage at the tree.
Well, in that case, she doesn't do the breathing. Rip does the breathing.
Hell yeah.
She taps him with the tip of her tail. He runs to the edge of the book, and he doesn't have a mouth. It's just the mouse skull. But he still does the full body movement of someone taking a deep breath and then letting it go. And then blizzard.
But like cartoon style where the chest just inflates all the
Oh,
way
yeah,
out.
way too big. Yeah. His little fists go behind his back as he lets it out.
Perfect.
That's better.
Yeah, I mean the bottom of the tree does heavily splinter. You can
Yay.
see parts where it has frozen. How thick you don't know, but there are little pockets of ice now, kind of especially in the parts as well where Chester had peeled bark away or tried to peel bark away. There's little deposits of ice and frost have gathered.
Okay. So, if you would like to try with the crowbar again, where it's frozen and pushed out there.
Let me have a look here. Just jam this in, easy peasy.
I will
need that
say-
advantage again.
You can also add 1 to it because here we stack advantage to a maximum of +5. So when we're stacking advantage, it's advantage and then +1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the max.
I see. Lucky 11.
11. Unfortunately, you don't quite manage to. You get some scraps and some fairly decent sized chunks, but nothing to the extent that you had before that would be considered a full unit. But you could still potentially sell some of the bigger parts for less than a whole strip.
Okay. Then,
If that stream of nonsensical words made any sense to anyone else.
No!
climb back into the carrot, the cart, the wagon, and chill out to get her second level spell back. Goes wizard.
Hell yeah.
She just sort of
Alright,
shrugs. I tried. And
No, hey, we got some wood. One of us can maybe benefit from some armor from this. Or we sell it and split the profits. Win or win.
yeah.
And
If
we
anybody
can
else wants to try. It feels weird to walk away when we're like a quarter of a unit away from having enough.
I'll try. Let me see what I can do. Well, I could just use shape water and pry it off, right?
There we
Like,
go. Right,
Yeah.
that's what we should have just done.
That's
If you let Warden borrow the crowbar, we'll give it a shot.
I hear ya, sir. Put you back into it. Actually, you know what? Your physical strength today seems much better even than on a normal day, which is very high. And he'll give you some bardic inspiration for that as well. It's a D8 now.
Ooh.
So just strength plus D8, Mitch.
Yeah, with advantage because of the crowbar.
So that's 16.
There you go. That's another. Oh, 22.
plus a D8.
There we go.
plus the D8, plus the D8.
How do I roll? Where is it?
If you go at the bottom, there's like a little place that says message and the smiley face and a little die
20.
and yeah, D20, and then you click on that. And then it says 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Then you
Or-
click
I'm
on the
clicking on the
8.
D8, but it's like
You
You
only
could-
click it once.
You
Yeah.
could just press the plus button next
There
to
we
the
go.
22 and press custom roll, and it would have added it to the 22 for you.
Oh, look at that.
Hmm.
that's a 2 from D8, so 24
24.
in total.
Yes. You kind of like you walk up like one of those proper guys, you know. You know the type.
Poor guys.
Guy, dude,
He
bro.
steps on up to the tree, runs a hand along it, kind of taps, listen, knocks, gives it another listen, nods, moves around the other side, and you're like, yeah, okay, guy. But you see where Warden had started to scrape away the chunks.
Winchester.
Yes. Where he'd started to
Nice.
scrape away the chunks, and where the bits of bark are starting to swell out from the ice that Linger had blasted at it. And over the space of the next hour or so, you manage to strip off, and then you go to work on the tree. Can
Wow.
you roll me a d6, please? I was going to roll it myself, but I'll let you do it, because I'm fun like that.
Fun.
Cool. You manage to strip 4 more long pieces of spiritual wood bark.
Nice.
So that's 4 more units.
I added it to my 2, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Actually, if I put something in shared treasure, does it stay there?
It should do.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna put it there. Actually.
That's part of the new containers update. You can now put your stuff in your backpacks, because all of you are showing up as heavily encumbered. Because
I'm
no
not-
one's carrying anything in the backpacks, technically, according to
I
the
can't
tabletop.
Edit shared treasure.
Can you
Or do I
not?
have to turn on edit? Maybe.
No share. Oh, yes, that's for claiming. Sorry, my bad. Equipment. Add. Create. I don't want to create. I just want to share treasure. Oh, fuck me.
It's okay. I'll just leave it in my inventory for now.
Yes, and then I will sort that properly in a second while you guys tell me what you're doing now with heading back on the road and heading to Dura.
That.
Yep.
Okay. You can directly add treasure now. Pick treasure. Add items. No. Shared treasure. Fuck my life, man. But yes, you guys head back out on the road. Is there anything anyone would like to do over the next day or so travel?
Good.
I'm good.
You know.
Yeah, I can't think of anything.
Cool. Someone then in that case, roll me a d20, please.
I'll do it. Eight.
8. The next day passes nice and uneventful as you continue down the road to Dura. Let me just double check actually how far away you actually are. It is just under, so yeah, if there's nothing anyone wants to do for much of the rest of the travel, your choice. We can either go day by day and ask if there's anything you want to do each day, or you can just hand wave the next. It would be 3 days of travel and arrive in Dura instead.
The only thing I want to do, and it doesn't require roleplay unless you wanted to, is
Roll 7d20 right now. No, go
right.
ahead.
Just for reasons that we all know and love, Linger is going to be particularly interested in spiders.
Mm-hmm.
So she's just studying spiders on the way, like make part of like putting little notations in her book. She's doing like little sketches of the spiders, looking at different types of spiders, what's going to be the optimal spider to rain down on someone,
Yeah.
Not
lot of
all.
totally just real into it. That's her focus right now. Spiders.
Everyone seems to be very into spiders now, and I'm so confused.
I remember my spider phase.
Save. There we go. So the total, we had how many pieces of spiritual wood? 6, right?
6.
Save. Grant. There you go.
Oh, so you have to do it.
Yes. I thought they'd added a shared container for the shared treasure now, but I think that's still in the beta. Cool. So, other than that then, are we hitting the fast travel button to Dura?
I think so.
Yeah.
Cool.
Everybody's carrying a little bit. I got to do the distribute thing.
Yes.
Fun.
Cool. So, with the final day of travel, you can actually see where the tops of kind of some of the towers and higher up buildings and larger buildings of Dura are either peeking up above the tree line when you kind of look up, or through various breaks in the trees occasionally, because obviously it's a main road, not a forest, but kind of around you are trees, and it's not just one straight road. But through the occasional breaks in canopy and tree line and whatnot, you start to see the capital city of Dura looming into view. And on your final day of travel, as you approach, you are lazily, as you guys put it at the start, rolling in towards the capital of the Sleeping Gardens, the seat of the Kingdom of Dura, the capital, Dura, funnily enough. It is a large walled city. The road that you're coming in from, I actually need to switch back to the other map just to double check. That one needs the stitches, that one needs up there. That one's down to Bellcrest. Cool. So the road that you're taking from Ebonwood kind of ends up curving you around the outskirts of this eastern side of the city. So you get an excellent view of some of the farms that are around on the outside, as you are brought around and down to what is called the King's Road. It's the main road filtering in and through Dura. That's the name of it. Forgot that one for a second. And you're brought around kind of down to the south of the city to join the King's Road at the bottom, where it leads up from lower in the Sleeping Gardens. And you have to join the back of queues of other people and wagons being checked as they want to enter into the city. There is this large portcullis that is open for now. I've just accidentally pressed the wrong music. There we go. We want the
How
town
dare.
music. I pressed intense instead of town. Hand twitched. But there's this large metal portcullis. Can everyone give me an intelligence check as you see this?
Sure.
6.
5.
Also 5.
17.
There we go. Now that Linga's not distracted.
Ran out of spiders.
Yeah. So, as you kind of look up at the portcullis, it is this kind of darkened blue metal, which you would recognize from having read about it a few times, probably. Medieval town, there we go. Have your harmonica man back. And your goats. But usually, dark steel is a special metal which forms in areas affected by thunderstorms, and is generally considered to be carrying the energy of that thunderstorm with it. So you've read about kind of weapons made from dark steel that when hit, people, or having been hit by them and live to tell the tale, people report feeling like they were struck by lightning when hit by this weapon. You've read about soldiers in areas that are particularly susceptible to thunder and lightning storms going out in armor made of dark steel and being particularly unaffected by any lightning strikes that may happen to hit them or happen nearby, or any magic lightning being thrown at them. So obviously above table. For armor, it can reduce lightning damage that you take, or be used to craft magical armor like armor of lightning resistance, and for weapons it can add a little bit of lightning damage. And you are kind of funneled up through this path towards the portcullis, where a Goliath guard just kind of one arm clutching this helmet to his side, kind of resting his fist on his hip, the other with a very long spear, and he just kind of looks at you. One eye is shut with this long scar across it, the other kind of like dark green, just staring intently at each of you, maintaining direct eye contact for a good 30 seconds before moving on to the next person. And he, mind if I ask what's in the wagon?
Oh, I don't mind at all. What piercing blue eyes you have, by the way.
Green.
Green eyes you have. Sorry, I'm colorblind, like most of my kind.
He just kind of does that, like, awkward nod when someone gives you that acknowledging nod, and you're like, do I know them? Yeah, nod back. Unless that's not a thing outside of Britain.
No, it's a thing.
Good.
Yeah. Being awkward is universal, so you're good.
Excellent.
Truly.
Well, you can't gatekeep being awkward.
Yeah, we can. We're British. If we can't gatekeep it, we'll steal it and stick it in the museum.
We can gatekeep anything, says the British.
We can gatekeep gatekeeping if we want to. Don't test us.
I'll fucking do it.
This is a
Said the
wonderful
British
gate
Empire.
you're keeping here, by the way.
Yeah.
You what, sorry?
I say, this is a wonderful gate that you are keeping here, my good sir. Please have a look in our cart.
He nods to some of the other guards nearby who head over and start kind of poking around inside the wagon. Not intensely, but just kind of tapping here and there with the butts of spears to make sure there's no hidden compartments or assassins waiting to pop out and shoot everyone with a little hand crossbow. And they just clear and head back to me. And the purpose of your visit to Dura?
Oh, well, at this juncture, probably just passing through, resting for the night, looking for a fine inn to rest our weary heads. Other than that, a big TBD on the statement.
Very well. Head on in. Keep your noses clean. Next.
I shall
And just
keep
kind of
everything
waves you
clean.
through.
Hera like rubs her nose and is like, "Is my nose dirty?"
Yeah.
But you follow the others who are also let through the gate. And you enter this lovely, large city. You are entering in from the south, so you're coming in around here, and you can very pointedly see that the road you're following, which is this main path through the town, very clearly continues on in one direction. There is a very brief, very slight split off, and you can see a small signpost where that split happens, with a sign hanging off that just says Sapphire District. But you can see the vast majority of the people much like yourselves who are heading through this main route are very distinctly and very clearly avoiding that road that leads into the Sapphire District, and heading further and deeper into the city. So what would you guys like to do as this large city sprawls around you? You can see there's so much stuff that I'm even reading the wrong page. There we go. Dura. I had Dragon's End open because I wanted to double check if Dragon's End existed when Lingo was alive, back when Chester was talking about Dragon's End, to see if Linga even knew it existed, but she does, so it's all good. You can see there are very large buildings. You can see a number of windmills kind of dotted around both inside and outside the city. Obviously the ones inside are significantly smaller. There are water mills where you can see water is being channeled up from somewhere and then through the water mill and back down to somewhere else. Where exactly, you don't necessarily know. And for those of you from locations or much more used to much less, these roads are very straight, very purpose-built. You're on kind of a straight road that goes in one long line before diverging at either like 90 degrees, 45 degrees, and that is about it. Think very much kind of Roman roads. If you guys have any of those left. I know we do.
In America?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have all the Roman roads
Yeah,
in
right.
America from when the Romans were here.
Right?
I'm sure you
Yeah,
remember
there's-
that part of history.
Yeah, you know what they say, all roads lead to Rome. Rome, Ohio.
Who wants to
Exactly.
go to fucking Ohio? Jeez. Sorry, anyone from Ohio. It's just a joke. I'm
I'm not.
sorry.
Linga, can you give me a very quick perception check?
Don't do it, Linger. Don't. I'm joking. Do it.
8. Cool. Excellent. But yeah, there are signposts all over the place. People hustling and bustling around. You can very clearly see the town guard moving around in very similar armor to the captain in Ebonwood. And you see the occasional patrol of guards, usually no more than about 5 or 6, but they will always be led by one with a symbol on their chest, which is a silver sun with silver wings, which is the symbol of the Silver Dawn, which is kind of like the elite guard of the Knights of Dura. There is, as well, as you're kind of casting a cursory glance around new location, definitely a heavily mixed demographic here. All kinds of races running around. In this part of town towards the Sapphire District, you're not noticing a huge amount of any of the more bestial races. The bugbear in your party is certainly getting some sidelong glances and
So well dressed, though. That
so
I'm sure,
well
you know, that
dressed.
helps.
That's part of what catches their eye in the first place, and then they're like, "Oh, it's a bugbear? Oh, I wonder what they're doing here around the Sapphire District." Before hurriedly rushing in the opposite direction.
Rude.
Fantasy
you get
people are
used to being
fantasy
looked at.
racist. What are you going to do about it?
When you look this good, may
Exactly.
I make a suggestion to the party?
Yes.
How about we find ourselves a delightful little, tavern where we could store our ox cart and ox, I guess. And then from there, the city is our proverbial oyster, as it were. Now, question, should we check in with the Knights of Dura, show them our bona fides, let them know that we're here on the case, or are we going to just travel through here on our way to Bimbledoo? I wait with rapt attention all of your answers.
It's at this point you all realize the harmonica man followed you here.
Maybe
my
it's
good
his
friend.
brother.
So- My microphone stopped working for a while, so I
Oh,
have some questions. Or just one question. What were the Silver Sun pickup, Silver Wing people called again? The Elite something something?
yes, so the Silver Dawn with
Silver
the
Dawn.
Silver Sun with wings. They are the
Mhm.
elite guard, basically. It's
Guard.
you know when you've met Knights of
Yeah.
Dura, who are the Knights of the Kingdom of Dura. The Silver Dawn are the elite of the Knights of Dura.
Okay, Elite Guard. Arrow to this, but extra. Okay. Okay, sorry. So, yes. Drop off ox. Secure lodging.
Yes. Absolutely.
Head to the
Wonderful.
Winchester and wait for this all to blow over.
That's my plan.
Yep.
He's back. He cut out for a second, but he's back, baby.
He's here.
He's here. He's with all of us, isn't he?
We could. The harmonica man was inside us all along.
Gross,
Truly.
get him out.
The true friends with the
Um,
harmonica we played along the way.
Ew.
Oh, we should certainly see about getting some instruments for you guys to play while we're traveling. While we're here.
Oh, maybe just Chester. I never used my lyre anyway.
I suppose I could maybe find a temporary one, but that original one is priceless.
Oh, of course. I wouldn't think that we would replace just some
Something to do for the road. Yeah.
I spent a long time only listening to nature. I would very much like that not to be my norm now.
Now it's just harmonicas. All the time.
Harmonica convergence. That
A
is
little bit of harmonicas in our life.
Wow.
No, bad. I got.
I
the
didn't say
reference, but
bad, I
didn't
just
want
said
to.
wow. I personally think a fucking fantastic joke.
Where's that music coming from now? I'm not the only one hearing that, right?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Sounds like cowbell a little bit.
I changed it,
That's
but
not bad.
apparently this one is actual music and not just ambience.
Yeah, we've got a drum line going by.
So
Little-
it was running over the top of the actual music and making some weirdness happen.
But our
There's a little
favorite.
festival going on. You know, it's like
just-
New Orleans.
Just wanted to see if the other towns had less the other town ambiences had less harmonica, but apparently not. How about this?
The
Nope, that's its own music. Cool.
cultural instrument of the Sleeping Gardens,
Exactly.
the harmonica.
But yes, what would you guys like to do then?
I think Chester's suggestion of finding a place to stay is a good one.
I think so
Mhm.
too.
Okay. So, right now, very much in the middle of the street, effectively. You can follow the sign if you want up to the Sapphire District. You can see more signposts kind of dotted around. Should you wish to explore some more, read about potential other areas of the city and make a decision from there.
Well, since I know the secret patterns and flow to cities and can find passages through the urban sprawl, I assume
Well, that's
I
a
would be able to
very
find
good
us a
point.
nice-
Yes. So, from your astute knowledge and estimations of these sorts of cities and layouts, the reason for the looks and the mutterings and the small path that most people are avoiding is the Sapphire District, and by extension, if you kind of follow the direction it leads off in towards where you can see very clearly what appears to be a small kind of citadel, is very clearly the rich district. It's where the poshos live. It's very much the more upper class area, hence why most people are giving it a reasonably wide berth.
So Chester starts heading in that direction.
I can already fucking hear Nazim in my ear saying, "Do you get to the Cloud District very often?"
What am I saying? Of course you don't.
It's like, yes, I do. I go up there all the time. It's like, it's just
All
a couple
I do.
steps up. It's not that big of a city in game. Fucking Nazim.
What is that in reference to? Is
I
it
have no
Basically,
idea.
what he's saying is, Todd Howard's done it again. This is no longer Sands of Syldaris. This is the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim.
You can't keep getting away with
Re-released.
this.
You can't keep getting away with it. Oh my god.
Re-released once again. The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Here we are again. Hey you, you're finally awake. So you're heading up into the Sapphire District then?
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's
Yeah,
fucking go.
Fancy.
We do it.
I'm loaded.
We go so hard to the Sapphire District. Just
Okay.
Hard.
Um,
is this a
As I say-
Wario symbol?
you what?
Isn't that
Kind of looks
Wario?
like it now that you've said it.
Oh,
And now I can't
man.
unsee it.
It is.
So thanks for
Wario.
that.
Oh,
I don't even
Um,
play video games.
As you approach the citadel, you just hear, wow.
Oh my god.
It's
So
not
hope
quite
they're
the
in the next Mario
Waluigi.
movie.
Wah! But it's still certainly something. Thanks for that, Lindsay. Now I'm gonna have to add my map to the burn pile and make a whole new one.
Well, it's not Lindsay's fault that you put a Wario on the map.
It's not my fault either. I used
I don't play
generators
video
to help
games.
make a coherent city because I'm not amazing
So
at
it's just basic media knowledge got me there.
It's true.
Man.
that.
Can I help you?
Why can't I find shit about the taverns?
What do you
Because
need?
that's all
What-
you really need. That's all he wants.
Another baby.
Here we go. But yes, you head up into the Sapphire District. The buildings are significantly more well maintained, well put together. You can see there are street sweepers around here, people kind of moving around, cleaning the buildings, keeping the streets clean. And you head around following Chester, who is great in a city like this. And before long, he leads you to the Ruby Tankard. There is a theme in this city. Can anyone guess what it is?
It's
Turn it.
gems.
Oh, gems. Right.
Oh.
Oh, well, this looks like a fine establishment. Nothing but the best for me and my friends.
Yeah, and it's certainly like multiple story tavern. Certainly too many stories for Mura to count.
Wow, I can only count to 4.
She says, pointing at the 2-story built. No, I'm joking. No, I was just being a dick. It is like a 4 or 5-story tavern. So very impressive, nonetheless. And it's this kind of grand building of stone walls. You can see kind of through the windows as you're walking past outside to reach the main door. It has these high vaulted ceilings inside. And there is a stables next to it.
Without even like sort of acknowledging or paying attention to somebody standing out front of this tavern, he's gonna flick a gold coin. Please take care of this, and hand over the reins while hopping down confidently.
Just toss a coin to a witcher or some guy.
Toss a
Someone
coin to
who
some
hopefully
guy,
works there.
certainly.
They
He
may
catches
work
the
there.
coin and goes, "Gee, thanks, mister," and runs away. What a great
not
day
paying
he's
attention.
having. No, fuck's sake, I've lost the note. There it is. There is a kind of scrabbling of the people who are kind of sat down nearby, and certainly, yes, please, takes the reins, scrabbling to pick up the gold coin that just was not caught. How many days are you intending to board for?
Well, that is a question that may have to be answered at a later date. For now, let's say 2.
Excellent. Not to worry. And kind of bows deeply and ties up the horse. I believe 1 gold should actually cover 2 days. It's 10 silver to 1 gold, isn't it? I can never remember.
Yes.
Yes, so it covers 2 days perfectly.
You knew that. Somehow.
Well, we're all good.
Well,
we
it's
know.
it's that feature of yours.
The city secrets. He knows the city secrets.
But yes, presumably then you head into the tavern. And it's very, very well lit in here, obviously. Hanging from the large, high even, vaulted ceilings are a number of large metal chandeliers. And as you enter, there is a half-elf dressed almost as finely as Chester, who, good day. Might I take your coats?
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, I don't have a coat. Oh wait, yes I do.
Yeah, you have like a million coats.
Peels off 3 coats.
All coat.
She's all coat. Sorry, Chester, I didn't mean to.
Oh no, just handing my coat over to this fine gentleman here. Quite an illustrious establishment you have here. Me and my
Thank you.
compatriots looking to rent a room, as it were.
Very well. That will be over at the main bar over there. In the meantime, will you be requiring a late breakfast or early lunch, perhaps? Would you require a table? We have a few available for a party of 4.
I will have one of each, a late breakfast and an early lunch. I'm most piqued.
Very good, sir. And please, if you wouldn't mind, when entering, please ensure you step over there first. And he points at, there's kind of 2 of the flagstones in this floor are very noticeably a separate colour than the other 2. And Linger and Mura are definitely catching the vibe of magic coming from that kind of rectangle of stone.
Ooh, I love magic.
And he just kind of gestures for you guys to step on and then continue into the tavern proper.
Although curious, no, it's not befitting his station to ask. So he'll sort of whisper down to Linga, who knows magic. What's the deal with those stones, would you say?
What is the deal with those stones?
Give me an Arcana check.
Yeah. Make up stuff on the spot. Arcana. 16.
It's all good
Nice.
because, fortunately, Linger is actually quite familiar with this vibe she's getting off these stones. It's a very familiar and similar feeling to a particular aspect of prestidigitation and specifically the cleansing stones that you have in your backpack.
Oh, okay. It's just a larger version of our cleansing stones.
Ah, yes.
So it's called a hygiene plinth, I believe.
Ooh.
Mm.
Very good.
It is now. Someone make a note of that.
I've just been in the process of learning that spell, so yeah, I should have recognized. Silly me.
Well, obviously they've done some stylistic choices to mimic the general theme of this city.
Oh,
Instead of-
baby. Sorry. I have a dog in my lap and I can't do
Oh, no, it's just Mira's just talking to Biscuit. It's fine.
Yeah.
Biscuits.
Um,
All right. Well, I guess shall we dine and discuss our next moves?
I think that's a very reasonable thing to do. Maybe ask the servers or employees here for recommendations on how we might while away some time now that we are somewhere not the woods or a small town?
Yeah.
Perhaps they've a concierge of some sort.
Well, you were. It was gestured to. There is a bar at the far end where you can see, kind of leaning one arm on the counter, talking to another patron, is a short female halfling. Outside of her, the rest seems to just be similarly dressed to the half-elf at the door and just kind of moving around the tavern and making sure everyone's tended to as the half-elf kind of returns from hanging your coats up and for you, holds out a small piece of paper for when you wish to collect your coats.
Ah, very good. Thank you.
Shall I show you to your table?
You shall.
Please do.
Very well. And he leads you through the tavern. It's pretty busy. And similarly to you guys, it's not necessarily entirely filled with the more upper class establishment and diners. You can see people that are sat on tables near enough to the lesser folk are certainly casting disapproving looks over and muttering while they're enjoying their drinks and food. But you're led to a booth off to the side with a circular table and one of just the long semicircle kind of high-backed bench with quite nice cushioned seats on it. And he just bows and steps away.
All right. Dinner / breakfast / lunch is on me, so please take advantage.
Okay. Mira orders food.
Such fancy food is had.
Yeah.
I think Linger will order a fancy drink. Sure. She doesn't normally, but you know. And,
If you would
and Trip, of course, will
like the list,
partake.
I
A
can
drink.
certainly tell you what is available.
I would like your favorite thing, whatever it is, on the menu, beverage-wise. 2 of them, please.
Are you saying this to the server or to Chester?
Yes, I am. To the server that
Okay.
has the menu in
Yes.
his brain.
This server is a kind of average height human fellow. Very short cropped brown hair. And he just
I'm sorry.
very well.
Okay.
Drinks wise, I'm somewhat of a fan of the white tabaxi. And were you wanting food as well?
Oh, yes.
Was Linger wanting food?
Oh, I
No.
thought he was asking
No,
the table,
cool.
sorry.
No, I
No,
thought you
it's
were
all right.
asking
It was
the
also
table.
because
I-
Linger was
she
like,
specified drinks, so I thought he would just.
sorry, yeah, no,
leave
I
that.
couldn't remember because I was looking at other things at the same time, and then because you were saying I'll have your favorites, I just wanted to double
From
check.
the drink.
Yes, cool,
menu.
that's fine. So
Two
white
of them-
tabaxis. And he kind of turns to the rest of the table, and are the rest of you having food and drink? Just food, just drinks? We do have some specials on today.
Well, seeing as you have got for my friend here, Lingo, your favorite drink, I will have your second and third favorite drinks combined in the same glass.
As you say second, third, he's kind of halfway through the nod and the very good, and then you say combined in the same glass, and there's like a full double take and a bit of a very good, sir, of course.
I think you just triggered his fight or flight response.
Very much a would love to say something, but of course you cannot say to the customer.
For food, how are you fixed for owlbear omelets?
Unfortunately, the owlbear is not in season. No, unfortunately we are out of the owlbear today, so I'm afraid.
All right, well, whatever the special is, I'm sure will be special enough for me.
Very well. Would you like to hear the special or
Oh, yes,
surprise? We have two specials on today. A steak of roasted dragon with a blackberry tart and a bowl of steamed crab with dried lemon.
Okay, well, let's add an element of surprise. Bring me one of them, but don't tell me which.
Very good, sir. And the rest of you?
I'll just have an apple juice and like a regular food.
Very well.
Regular stuff.
Normal old food.
Little normal food. Oh shit. That was me, not Mira. My cord.
And for you, sir, and he looks over at Warden.
I don't know what he would get. I think I'll just ask for like a glass of water and a straw. Let's go with that. Good old reliable.
Of course. I will pass this through, and it'll be with you momentarily. And he nods his head and sachets away.
So, I haven't been in a proper city in a very long time, and I know we have pressing matters. But if we could possibly find a way to take advantage of the fact that we are in a proper city with proper establishments, I assume a bustling nightlife, which I have not experienced in half a millennia, would just really like to indulge, if that's possible.
Yeah, I think so.
Of my middle names, indulgence is one.
Perfect.
How many middle names does Chester have? So many.
Many as it takes.
I love it.
Danger,
Yeah.
Obviously. Danger,
Many as it
safety, oddly enough.
And
There's just lots.
Hi, baby.
When I was in
What?
school, we went dancing, we reveled, we caroused, we gambled, we did a lot of fun, lively things that live people like to do when they're young and lively. So
What were you
that's
going?
what I would like to do.
What were you
Any
gonna
of
say,
that.
Warden?
I was gonna ask like what her idea of nightlife is,
Oh,
but she basically answered it with that. So
okay.
Yeah. We're good.
We're good.
Things to do.
I don't think I've ever been outside at night.
Mm,
That's not true. Sorry, I don't say that. I don't think I've ever done nightlife stuff. It could be fun.
see, so there's some deep lore. Linger used to be a party girl
I could, yeah.
in the
Hell.
before times.
Yeah. fast
Back
forward
at my
to
home.
you up.
What'd you say?
Back at my home, we would often take part in late night debates, whether that be politics, warfare, or fighting stratagem.
Yeah?
Okay, well, why don't we just maybe save that for later, like after we've had several dozen drinks, and then we can really get into those debates.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we could do that thing where we're all lying in bed and being like, are you asleep? Are you asleep? And then like we can have a debate then. That'd be fun.
I feel like laying in bed is not the place to have lively, debateful discussions.
Have you never got really drunk with friends and then all slept in one big room and then you say, are you asleep? Are you asleep? And then you have debates about things?
I don't really drink, so no, but like I do like, you know, I do like ask people if they're asleep a lot, so.
Well, there you go. You got to step up. One thing I would suggest, maybe we start here, nice and classy like, and then we slowly get more and more degenerate as the night progresses.
Perfect.
Oh, I'm not really like a degenerate, but I will be happy to be the designated degenerate like herder.
All right, you keep us alive as we descend into degeneracy.
And everybody dies.
I'm just waiting for next session, by the end of which Linger is just there like, you guys, I just love you so much.
Mira's like, there. I love
Drunk
you
out
guys
of her
too.
mind. I need to tell you. Okay, Rip for so long was all I had.
So sweet that you think she's going to be a friendly drunk.
So sweet that you think that she's gonna be like a crying drunk too, when she's really gonna be like, hey motherfucker, back off.
That's really
I'll get fireball on your ass. I'll blow everybody up.
I'll add you to the burn pile.
Yeah,
We're going to go to the floating citadel, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to go to the down. We're going to crash that whole fucking place. Yeah.
She's like, we're gonna go to the floating citadel. I'm gonna throw that motherfucker right off the edge. I'm just gonna fucking yeet him, and we're gonna be like, Linger, you're
ooh.
scaring me. Mira just starts crying. Linger, no. Oh my gosh.
I think with this plan in mind, Chester's going to start looking for signs of thieves' cant, just like in the worlds. And as he sees, you know, shady individuals, he'll be sort of throwing out again in thieves'
Gang
cant
signs.
things along the lines of where the party at.
Could I assist him, since I have ear to the ground from my urban bounty hunter background?
Oh.
Yep.
Where basically, yeah. I don't know if you want me to read it or not, but
Go for it.
Read it.
Yeah, I'm curious.
yeah. Since you are in a frequent contact with people in the segment of society that your chosen quarry moves through, which is often like rough and tumble folk of the streets and whatnot, and then let's see. This connection comes in the form of a contact in the city you visit, a person who provides information about the people and places of the local area.
Very cool.
So,
Well,
I
we
guess
got
we can
things
interpret-
covered.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
I haven't written out her background yet because it's a custom, but I'm just going to add used to be a rave girl to her feature.
Oh my god.
Oh.
He's back,
back.
baby.
Yeah,
Now it's a
he
party.
heard us.
Okay.
So was there anything else planned to do during the day, or were you just wanting to skip straight to the nighttime and start looking around and raving?
One thing
Go to a
maybe might
spa.
be smart is to see about that wood, if we can unload,
Oh, yeah.
and maybe even look at if someone could, while we're in town, take the time to fashion it into something. Do any of you have any desire for this wood as armor?
I can't wear medium armor, so no.
You could do
But if
light
I
armor, can't you?
Mitch said it can only be medium or heavy armor, right?
Oh. Yeah, never mind.
Sorry. I mean, I would love it. As soon as Mitch said that, I was interested until he said like medium or heavy only. And I'm like, I can't really do anything because then I could just get rid of my invocation that makes me concentrate like better. But here we are.
Well, you know, Chester will look very dapper in cyan armor.
I can only do light as well.
Ah. Okay.
But hey, it's a valuable material.
Yeah.
Well, I
so
think
can
we
sell
should
it.
keep it or sell it. I'm fine with
Was
selling
Steph
it.
about to go down there? I think we should keep it in case one of us dies and then we make someone
No, I
with
was
proficiency.
Thinking, isn't there a feat that you can take that lets you have medium armor? So I was thinking if one of us took the feat, then that would probably be like a thing. But
Does Warden have any interest in some panel upgrades?
yeah,
The wood?
Yeah.
Gordon's more of a metal guy, isn't he?
Yeah, more metal guy.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't mind. There was that dark metal that Mitch was talking about earlier.
What, the dark steel? The lightning stuff.
Could we could see about maybe trading this in for some of that and having some panels put in?
Yeah, maybe the people who would work with this might also work with that and can do a trade.
Yeah.
Well, the people who would work with it don't really do metal work because it's woodwork.
But they would know. They would know the people.
No, I
Yeah,
know.
You know.
armorers.
I just wanted to make a woodwork pun.
Okay. Because we have this resource. We have someone that might be able to benefit from it. We should look into that.
All right, yeah, that would be the only day top thing that I can think of off the top of my head. I guess that question I asked before: do we want to check in, or is there not really a point
I think
with
we
the?
should.
We should, okay.
Yeah.
With the knights.
Yeah, check in. And but the knights might even have a lead on where to take this wood to have it to exchange it for something that Warden might be interested in.
Or maybe new information since we last heard about what has sort of sent us westward.
And then we party.
And then we party. Business, then pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Sounds good.
Nice.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. So
Tally
you're
ho.
heading to the Citadel?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good,
But not the one that we're going to
spot.
burn down.
No, not the floating
Different one.
yet. Okay. You head over and it's another very grand building, very kind of high domed roofs. Not sure if they're painted gold or if they're actually gold, but either way they look at large kind of pillars constructed on the outside that are very much kind of dwarven in aesthetic, and you reach another guarded portcullis because, you know, city defense, and you are stopped as you approach by a lovely, large, barrel-chested Leonin man with a very, very fluffy mane, very well kept. It's just so awesome to look at this mane.
Can't recognize game here, I feel like. Yeah.
Absolutely. Like
Wait,
there
they're
isn't.
chill with this guy, but they're throwing shade at our bugbear.
Well,
Is that
he's
what I'm
worked
picking
his.
up here?
He's worked up to this station. He's a knight of Dura.
Yeah, he better have.
They might not be chill with him, but they
Okay.
respect that he's a knight of Dura. As you approach Chester, there is certainly you can't hide the telltale twinkle in his eye when he catches notice of Chester, and there is that brief eye contact of game recognizes game. The the little nods of appreciation at each other. Before he... Good afternoon. What is your purpose for visiting the Citadel?
Hello, my fellow fine furry friends. That's a lot of F's. I am here to meet with the leadership of this particular outpost. As you will see, we have a little of an introduction here. My name is Chesterfield. This is Mira. This is Linga. This is Warden. I actually don't know if they have last names like I do.
Mira's eyes just glaze over.
Not anymore. I lost in the divorce.
He reads the letter quickly, kind of scanning over it, and holds it to another soldier nearby who has a look over. And very well, follow me. And he hands you back the letter, turns and starts marching towards the front doors of the Citadel, and you see as you're kind of following him through, another soldier moves in to take his place next to the other guard on the other side of the portcullis. And you are led through and into a very grand entrance hall. Let's switch music because it's not a tavern. But we'll just go for the normal town music. You're led through into this very, very elaborate entrance hall. There's a similar kind of that dwarven stone floor.
What's wrong with it?
You can hear the clang of these kind of plate mail boots from this Leonin guard and from Warden just echoing off the stone as you walk in. And he just, please wait here. And he takes a few steps in and starts muttering to one of the other soldiers nearby. While I grab my notes.
Is very familiar.
I mean, you guys can make... let's go for an intelligence check.
To do what?
2.
Nice.
17. So smart today.
Yeah. Anyone else checking, or just Warden and Chester?
What do I need? What is? Sorry, I had my dogs. It's
Intelligence.
for.
Okay. I can. It just seemed like you were just addressing them. And
I don't know.
Oh,
What
no, sorry.
going on, but I'll roll it. Actually, a 6.
12.
Excellent. Linger and Chester, then. The accent you do pick up, it is a Faltesian accent, or somewhere around, certainly, the continent of Faltese. Kind of similar to what you've heard from Warden in the Sleeping Gardens, but totally different side of the world.
Okay.
And the Leonin kind of nods at the guard he was speaking to and marches out of the citadel, and this human guard steps over and... Very well, I am taking you to our captain. Before we head in, I am obliged to ask... I can sort of see already, but I have to ask, are you carrying any weapons with you today?
Yes.
I have a dagger.
Very well, if you could please step to the side and place all weapons in one of these boxes. We will securely lock them away for you, and you can retrieve them when you exit the citadel. Thank you for your cooperation.
I put my one dagger in there. 'Cause
I'm
that is all I have.
just going to remove this quarter staff from her inventory because I've never mentioned it. She's never going to use it. Silly. Silly to even have it.
Let's leave it with them.
Just never even had it. It's fine.
Yeah, Warren's gonna put his greatsword, probably like on top of the basket or whatever.
Linger will reach up and. Oh, sorry. I thought you were done.
Oh, no. I mean, if you were first, you want to keep going.
No.
Okay. He's gonna like try to see if he can fit it any better, but just kind of like leave it resting on top of it because it probably doesn't fit. Just kind of awkwardly. And then out of his arm, he just ejects the light crossbow that's mounted to his left arm and just puts that in. I think it's on the weapons he has on him. Yes.
Cool. There we go. Thank you for your cooperation. You will be returned your weapons when you leave the citadel. Please follow me. And as he starts marching through the halls, Sorry, it's protocol we've got to follow every time. I understand I'm to take you to Captain Mayruzi.
If he is large and in charge, then yes.
Large she most certainly is, and in charge she most certainly is. And he marches you down the halls before making a very abrupt turn, knocking, and then opening these kind of large dark wood doors that you are all now able to identify, having played around with some dark wood and some spiritual wood. And as he steps into the room, he kind of places a gauntleted fist on his chest in a salute and says, "Captain, they have a letter of introduction from Ebonwood and I brought them here to see you. I believe it is something related to the attacks." And he salutes again and leaves as this half-orc lady turns around, places her elbows on the desk, crosses her fingers, and with that, we will leave it there.
Yay!
Woo! On the dot. Look at that.
On the dot. I just messaged Mitch and I was like, I have to leave in like 2 minutes. Oh.
Cool.
Awesome.
Is it Mayruzi or Mayruzi?
It is Meiruzi, all one word, Mayruzi.
Okay.
Yeah.
My spelling works fine. I just wanted to know if it was 1 or 2 words.
Cool. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for coming along and watching.
You're welcome.
We will see
You're
you
so
all
welcome.
next time. Goodbye.
Yeah. Bye.